So we were at the Vatican, and I was young. Okay, so I was like 16. I wasn't that young. And my mother wanted to take a picture of me in the Vatican with the Swiss guard. And she says, sit on the step. And I sat on the step, and there's a Swiss guard at the door. And behind him is the Pope doing Pope stuff. This is like the entrance to the Pope's house or whatever, at the Vatican. So my mother says, get closer. So I move up to the next step. And she says, get closer. I move up to the next step. And then at some point, the guy says, out. And he did not mean high like alto. He meant out like halt, which I knew. So I stopped. And then my mother says, get closer. So I get closer because I listen to my mother and not the Swiss guard. And the Swiss guard says, out. And I probably told my mother, he doesn't want me to get any closer. And my mother probably said, ignore him, get closer. That's the way my mother was. She's the boss. You see that shot miss? It's embarrassing. So, do I have any other stories specifically about Italy in regards to my mother? Let me think. We were there for a long time. What happened? You can see I didn't pre-think this. Oh, I'm going to tell you something. If you watch my other videos, you'll hear me talk about how my mother used to play pranks on me. We went to go get ice cream. My mother was mean to me. She is the type of person that she would just be mean to me for no reason. And we were getting ice cream, and they got ice cream for my brother, got ice cream for my sister. And then my mother told me, she said, oh, this is in Italy, you can't ask for the ice cream you want. You get whatever they give you. And I believed her because, I was very naive. And I didn't know that my mother was pranking me and lying to me at the time. I was just a naive 16-year-old. I figured it out a little bit older. And she said, oh, in Italy, you can't ask for what flavor you want. You just get whatever they give you. And they had like 20 flavors. I mean, this was not a small ice cream place. So she gave me the ice cream, and it was coffee flavor. And she knew I didn't like coffee. So I just, I said, I didn't want this as coffee. And she said, oh, too bad. And I just dumped it on the ground and walked off, and that was it. I actually pretended that I dumped it by accident, but that's what I did. There was no trash can. I had to do something with it. And at the time, I didn't understand. I believed her. I believed my mother. I said, oh, in Italy, when you go for ice cream, you just get whatever they give you. But it's not true. You can actually tell him, give me the strawberry ice cream. They probably had more than 20 flavors. I mean, they had so many flavors. And, when I was 21, I caught her lying to me. I mean, she just lied right in front of me. So then I realized, oh, she's not stupid. She was lying. I realized that she was lying to me. But then when I got older and I started thinking about all the different things that she had done, I realized, it seems like she was playing pranks on me. Not so much that she was stupid or lying. And it had to do with the story about my shoes, which is maybe in one of my other videos. But the problem is my disk drive filled up while I was recording, so I lost the recordings for like a half an hour of me talking about my mother. So I don't know what stories are there, which ones aren't. But it is in the live stream. So if there's a live stream where I start talking about my mother being a horrible person, that's the one. I want to put my strong armor forward because I really can't get away from this loser. I could go over the road, though. He's dumb. So my mother, when I was a child, used to play pranks on me. She was the type of person, she would be like, okay, I'll do it for Joe, I'll do it for Joanne, but David gets nothing. That's the way she was. and it's really sad. It's sad because, I technically had a mother, but other than that, nope, did not. And that's why I hate mothers. I'm sure there were other things. So we got the ice cream. What else was there? There was something else that happened, but it was my mother and my grandmother were fighting or something. I didn't know. And my grandmother went around to the front of the hotel to wait. No, my mother did. My mother went to the front of the hotel. My grandmother stayed at the back of the hotel with my aunt. And we were waiting a long time for the taxis. We were waiting for 2 taxis. And it was early in the morning, like 5 or 6 a.m. And my mother, she's always like, oh, this is Italy. Don't expect the taxi to show up. Or don't expect them to show up on time. Now, keep in mind, we're literally in the middle of nowhere. It's not like it's a big town where there's 100,000 people. There's probably a few hundred people. We were far from everybody. We were at the beach. It was just like a small strip of small hotels. And the town was like 10, 15 miles away. And that town probably didn't have any taxis. It was just the type of place it was. So we were waiting a long time. And somebody said, my aunt said, David, go see if the taxis are here. And I started walking to the front. And my mother yelled, she said something like, the taxis are here, or they're here, or something. No, she didn't say that. You see, that's the way my mother is. She said, tell them to come now, is what she said. So I didn't go to the front. All I did was walk halfway down the drive around the hotel. She said, tell them to come now. And I never went to I never made it to the front. I just turned around and went back. And they said, are the taxis here yet? I said, I don't know. And then they got angry with me. I don't remember what my grandmother said. She said something like, I don't know, it's stupid. I don't remember what she said, but she said something like that. And I was like I said, they bullied me so easily. I was like, I'm guilty, and they obviously hated me and thought I was the problem, but the taxis were there. I got the gun mark. Totally not worth it. I'm going to apply it just for the sake of the gun mark. We're getting a little bit later in the day, and I haven't used my applications. So I'm going to use my applications on my shaft. No, it's not the shaft. It's the manageable bonus to experience. It's you apply it. But you can see that I've got a little tank on my shaft. So we walked, I guess we grabbed the luggage and walked around, and the taxis were there. And I didn't know that they were fighting, but that was a point where I realized, it looks like my grandmother and my mother, they're not happy with each other or something. Not my mother's mother. Although they probably would have been fighting too. No, you know what? My other grandmother would have been pranking us. She would have done the same thing. So like I said, it's a long time ago. I didn't prepare for this video. It's not like, I'm going to think about how my mother... Come on. Just load the effing file. Okay, got first MOE on P43 today. So I'm posting this to my blog so the world can see. Not everybody knows. Oh, you know what? We're just going to continue the game because I'm going to come up with more stories about things that my mother did when I was in Italy. Nah, forget it.